Hi, so this is self shiatsu for the hands. Lots of people will have done this exercise already, often in pairs. And quite often what we've done when we do this exercise is, first of all, before we actually do shiatsu with the hands, is actually to do a self-scan throughout the whole of the body. The point of the scan is to just find, somewhere in the body that feels a bit tense or a bit tight or just stands out for whatever reason. So what I'd like you to do is actually just close your eyes for a moment. Make sure you're not sort of slumping too far back in a chair. Maybe just have a little bit of sitting upright without any tension in the body, but just feeling your feet on the ground and your sitting bones on the chair, shoulders relaxed, and basically just look through your body from the top of the head all the way down through the head. I'm going to do this a bit quicker, but you can do this much slower at home. And then down into the throat and the neck, and keep going down, of course, then including the shoulders. But of course the shoulders have two sides, don't they? So compare and contrast. Go down into the chest, go down, the arms, let's go down the upper arms. Go down through to the elbows, the forearms, the wrists. As I say, I'm scanning this a bit quicker, but if you've got more time at home, take more time. You go through the shoulder joints themselves, see how they feel. Let's go down the front of the chest. Is this area of tension or tightness there? Let's go down the upper back, where the spine is, between the shoulder blades, mid-body area, so you've got the whole of the rib cage coming around to the front, going around to the spine at the back, and inside diaphragm, we've got the solar plexus area, belly area, so go down into the belly and go round to the lower back too. And quite often the belly is a classic area for holding tension. We don't always know that it's there, but quite often it can be, these kind of butterflies in the tummy, that sort of thing. Go down into the pelvis, so behind, underneath, the perineum muscle, the hip joints, the groin, just everywhere through the pelvic area, just looking for any areas of tension or tightness. Down into the thigh muscles, the femur bone, thigh muscles, is this area of tension there, into the knee joints, how the knee's doing. Again, contrast the left from the right, and go down into the calf muscles. Quite often there can be tension there, or even the ankles or the feet. So just choose one place that feels, the tightest or the most painful, or it'll probably come to you quite quickly. Anyway, so we're just going to work one of the hands and see if it makes any difference. Quite often I rest on the hand that I'm going to work, I rest it on the thigh. Grabbing the thumb in the middle knuckle above and below, just sort of squeeze a little bit and hold that squeeze so you can rock and roll the thumb forward and back like that. Rock and roll it, okay? Go back to the beginning of the thumb, squeeze and then release, middle, squeeze and release, and then hold either side the corners of the nail. Leave the hand down so it doesn't move, but move the thumb in circles, go back the other way, okay? And that moves the joint nearer the thumb, and then just brush off. Okay, next knuckle, or next finger, middle knuckle first, above and below the knuckle on the second knuckle, and then rock and roll it forwards and backwards like that, holding the nail, corners of the nail, again, circling. You can also do the squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, and brush off. Doesn't really matter what order you do them in. So, middle finger, knuckle, rock and rolling, second knuckle. So, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Just do the circling so you get, and just notice that, some fingers do feel stiffer than others, some fingers feel looser than others, and it might be, you have some arthritic pain there or something. So always only do 70% of whatever stretch or movement that you can do. Don't create more pain in the body. Pain is there, it's important, it's telling us something, but we can still work delicately and carefully over an area, not missing it out. So, but also you can choose to do that if you want to. Little finger knuckle, other knuckle near the nail, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. You could do that above and below or on the sides. Again, hold the nail, do the circling, okay, and then down, and just, you know, wiggle the fingers there, just having done that. In fact, compare and contrast with the other side. Definitely feels a lot looser. Just for a moment, go back to the place that you chose. Just see if working one hand has already had an effect. And it has for me. I know where I can feel it's just changed a little bit. Anyway, the other hand, again, try and rest it on your thigh or your lap. Let's just do the knuckle, rock and roll, back and forwards. Okay, and then squeeze in the base, middle, near the nail, and then circle. Back and forwards and brush off. So, 2 knuckles, above and below. Squeeze, rock and roll the finger back and forwards. Second knuckle, rock and roll back and forwards. Okay, bit stiffer this one for me. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, and circle. Circle both directions, brush off, and just keep going. Knuckle, knuckle. As I say, squeeze there, underneath, above or sides. For some reason the knuckle closer to the nail was more tight on that one. So, yeah, just a good thing you can do. You can do this, you don't have to sit silently. You could even do this watching television or anything, you know, so, but just good to do on a regular basis. This moves the blood and vitally moves the chi and the lymph too. So it just gets everything working. Knuckle, knuckle, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze. Hold the tip of the nail, and again, both directions. Okay, so shake out. Now compare again, a bit more similar. So let's put the hands down and just contrast, go back to the area that you chose at the beginning. Yeah, certainly for me it's had an effect. It might not have gone altogether, but it's certainly taken the edge off the pain. Okay, so that's that part of working the hands. Right, okay, so here's another couple of exercises, maybe 3. Palms up like this, and this is from our Tai Chi group. So you curl in the little finger towards the palm, the 4th, the 3rd, the 2nd, and then all the way in, like that. And again, curl, curl, curl. It's almost like you're kind of wrapping the fingers around something and then pulling that towards you. Okay, you can do it more than 3 times, up to you. Now, hands down. This time it's out to the sides with the little fingers, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and then up through the middle. Okay, so it's out to the sides, one by one. Again, almost like you're sort of gripping something, and then you're pulling it up through the middle towards you. Okay, and again, loosen them up, shake them out, maybe down to the sides of you, like that. One more we do in our warm-up sequences often is one hand just faces the chest like this. You come around the front of the hand with the other hand to grab the thumb. This little finger comes onto the centre of the chest, and then that's where you use the thumb to just twist the hand round a little bit. Again, so little finger, chest, thumb. Okay, so this is really good for, you know, getting the wrist to be a bit more flexible. Okay, shake it out. Now work the other one. Come around to the thumb, little finger onto the chest, and then again reverse the palm around like that. Only 70%. Don't go further, just get a stretch. It's more about regularity than, you know, how far you can go. Stretching. Okay, shake that one out. And then one more we do, which is actually, to start, everybody can do this, a prayer position. Now, link the fingers together, so just slide them together like that. And crucially, get the elbows to touch. So the forearms and the palms are touching. So what you do with the hands is you turn, doesn't matter which one, palm away from you like that. Now, bend the hands forward, bending at the wrist. Okay, at the wrist like that. Come around and then straighten up. Bend forwards, go around to the other side, straighten up. So you know you're back to where you started. Forwards, around and straighten. Forwards, around and up. Forwards, around and up. So it's like a figure of 8 shape. But if you keep the forearms together, yeah, they move, but it keeps the majority of the movement in the wrist joints as you do this. So just play with that for a while. Okay, now change the fingers over. So especially, so fingers up, little fingers swap over like that, and then all of the others as well. And then we'll just do it again, like this. Again, keeping the forearms together. So you can keep it slow, or you can speed it up. But really just get that movement into the wrist joints, and crucially bend around, straighten, bend around, straighten. That's your sequence. So it's like the infinity shape, that around and up, around and up. Oop, elbows coming apart there. Anyway, okay, come back to the beginning, shake out, and just take a nice breath and relax. So thanks, that's the self-shiatsu techniques for the hand.